Hey everyone, welcome back to Gone to Florida. Thank you for coming with us as we explore 5 budget buys at the Universal Orlando Resort. If you're like us, you are on a budget, and every time you go to a theme park, you notice how expensive things are getting, but you want to take a piece of the theme park home with you. So you want to buy things, you want to be efficient with your money, you want to get souvenirs, you want to be able to do the things that are there. So here are just 5 things that we consider to be really good and at least somewhat budget-friendly buys. At number 5, we have the interactive Harry Potter wand. Now, when I say this is a budget buy, it isn't exactly cheap. I think they're about $75. Now, remember, you can buy some ones that aren't interactive, but I definitely suggest the interactive ones. These can be purchased throughout the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, throughout other gift shops at Universal Orlando Resort, even in most of the hotels as well. You can purchase this. And again, they're about $75, but you get a map of Diagon Alley and Hogsmeade that shows you where you can cast your magical spells. And that's really cool. Kids love them. They serve as a souvenir that you can take home with you. You can collect. And it's also something that you get to do in the park. So it's something that you can spend an hour doing in Diagon Alley and an hour doing in Hogsmeade when you go around and you try to look in the windows and flash your wand and make something move or light up. And it's a really cool thing that you can do. So it kind of functions as several things. You get a keepsake and you get something to do in the park with the wand. So I would definitely say that's worth having because, again, when you come back, you can bring it with you and it never wears out. It never gets old. You want to just keep doing the magic tricks, and kids love them, adults love them. And so that is our number 5 budget-friendly buy. At number 4, this is something that we just recently purchased, and I cannot tell you how much we love it. It's just a small little backpack that says Universal Studios on it. They have several different kinds throughout the store. This is just one like what we purchased. It was $20. We did get a pass holder discount, and I'll tell you why this is such a good buy. $20 for anything at a theme park is pretty good, but this little thing, actually we were able to get a lot of stuff in it. We carried around an extra charger. We put our phones, a wallet, glass wipes, headache medicine, chapstick, lots of little things were able to go down in this pouch. And also because when you have rides that have lockers, like for example, Men in Black, we were carrying around this big backpack, trying to stuff it in one of those free lockers that you can use while you're on a ride. And it was really difficult. We would have to pull things out of the bag. And so that made it really hard. This makes it to where you can just put something in a locker. Even if you got 2 of them, if you had to have, some extra space or something, you can just put both of them in one locker. You can each get a locker to put them in. But it was just so much easier than trying to put a huge backpack in. And a little bit more on that later as to how we save space. But it really was just so much more efficient. And really, we did not need everything that we were carrying around. Everything we needed, we were able to put in this small backpack. At number 3, we love the pins that they sell at Universal. Because one, they have a pen for everything. They have a pen for Islands of Adventure, for Universal Studios, rides that are like the throwback rides, like Back to the Future, the current rides, the current lands. And this is a really easy way to have a souvenir and some sort of collection that we can build on every single trip and not break the bank. These pens are usually from maybe $9 to $14. Now, some of the pens will have multiple pens on them, maybe a Harry Potter pen, or I think there's some little like Back to the Future. Everything kind of has some sets that may have like 4 pens in them. They may run all the way up to $22, but I can easily get 2 or 3 pens on every trip. The most recent trip, we got a VillainCon one because it had just opened, so it was kind of to commemorate the first time that we got to ride VillainCon. And it's just something, we have a pin collection at home and we just put them all together so we can look back and enjoy them. And it's not something that, 1, is taking up a lot of space. 2, they're never going to get old. They're never going to just shoved back to the closet. We have them in a nice display case. And again, it's so easy to buy a new one. Like there's always going to be new ones. So every time we go to the park, we could get a new one and we would never run out. And it's just a cheap way to buy a souvenir every single time. So I don't feel like I need to be buying all these other things. Even when I see something I like, I'm like, no, I'm going to wait and just get a pin of it because it can add to our collection. At number 2, we have the lanyard pouch combo. Now, these are amazing. One, again, you can collect these. They have so many. They have one for everything, all different styles, all different colors from all different lands, all throughout the park and every kiosk, just about you can find these. So one, you can collect them. Two, as far as price point goes, they're not that bad, especially again, if you have a pass, that's always going to count your discount, but maybe $13 to $15 somewhere in there. I know somewhere in the video, the prices are going to be shown. And so I think I'm telling you that correctly, but also because they're just super useful and very much like some of the other things that we mentioned, they are something that you can use every single time you come to the park because you're going to have a ticket, you're going to have a pass or a credit card or something that needs to go in that pouch. And if you have that, you don't have to worry about it falling out of your pocket, digging it out of a backpack. It's just right there for you. And it's really cool because, you know, kids and adults both feel like they are getting to pick out their personality when they get to pick out the lanyard and the pouch that they want. And, you know, I have some that I like for Halloween, like the horror monsters. I have one for Christmas with Earl the Squirrel. And so you can mix it up a little bit, but mostly they're just very reasonably priced and they're useful for every single time you come to the park. We carry our hotel key card, our annual pass, as well as a credit card in there. And it works out just fine. It works out great. Now, number one is kind of a double because they go together, but we would definitely 100% every single time you come to the park, buy a Freestyle cup once. You can buy more than one if you want, but just as long as you buy one, every time you come, activate that Freestyle cup for that day or however many days that you're going to be at the parks. We spend so much time like trying to find a drink sometimes because it's so hot. Now, water is always free, so you can always fill the Freestyle up with water, but you can go throughout the park at these Freestyle machines or wherever it may be in a restaurant or whatever, and you can get this filled up throughout the day. I think a bottle of Coke might be like $4 or $5, and you can buy the cup and activate it for like $10.99, I think was our activation price the last time that we went for the whole day, and you can just fill it up. You have to wait 10 minutes between each fill, but by the time 10 minutes is up, you are at the next Freestyle machine and you can just go grab a drink. And so this is something that these cups, like I know we have seen people have a cup that's 5 years old. It still works. You can still reactivate it. So you buy the cup once. I think the new Jurassic Park 30th anniversary ones are about $17.99 before tax and without a pass. And so you can get that. Refill it every time you come to the park, reactivate it. I think you get a discount when you activate it for multiple days. So if you're going to be at the park for 3 or 4 days, I would activate that thing every single day because you will definitely use it. And in addition to that, if you can find, which we lucked out, it was in July, but we found a Christmas one. I hear they're getting a lot more because they're so popular, is to find that crossbody cup holder because that helps out tremendously. Again, if you just have that small backpack and that cup holder, you don't have to have a huge backpack that you're carrying around. Also very reasonably priced, also something that you're going to be able to have, you know, every time you come to the park. So there's more budget-friendly buys coming, but these are ones that we could not wait to share because we utilize them so many times and they have helped us so much. So we hope that they help you as well. And maybe it's not Universal. Maybe you go to a different park and these are just some things to think about that you can carry over with you. If you have any other budget-friendly tips for theme parks, please leave them in the comments below. Thank you again for joining us on our Gone to Florida adventures. And remember, never stop exploring.
Yeah.